little buried by the flowers, but what if we invert them and put the, yeah. Here. That one needs, okay, what do you think of this? We'll have to move the stand, but I think that works. Yeah. I think that works. Okay, let's move the stand. You want my helmet? One second.
Sure, I'll wait.
Yeah, it's always on the, yeah, he's the expert.
Yeah. It's me and Hillary. You saw where you're sitting over. Have you?
And Stephen, did you put Stephen Pope, the husband's name?
I didn't put down. I just put celebration of life, and so you all could have folks sit where you want.
The lights just went out, so bear that in mind.
That's good.
That's nice. That's good. That's perfect. It's perfect. I like it from here. It's really good. Not hidden. Okay. I think it's really good. Yeah, it works. And then I gave him a call.
I'm waiting to get the right now.
Reverend Hunter?
Yes? Yes, yeah, I have your report.
I think I've got something, but I need.
It's a lot going on right now. Probably.
It's right here.
Yeah, we need probably more there than
2:35.
your other side. It's an alto. It's an alto. Back. Sabrina, Christina. And then you. And then and then after you be the first on the first row. So then we'll have on the second the first row. It would be a first breath. There's no first breath. And then it was because you're gonna follow after song.
Yo.
We're on the move.
Oh my God, that picture. We're gonna go to the green room. We're going to the green room. Also, that was myself. Oh, and Sharon. Yeah, I can see that. And where's Sharon? Oh, Sharon. Oh, there. Mark.
sport, and the black man still comes up short. It's time to motivate, build and elevate. Blind, deaf, and dumb, we gotta change their mind state. So I'll dip, diver, civilizer 85er. Gotta let them know the devil's a conniver. This is the plan from the brother man from the motherland. Now it's time to take a stand. I'll keep striving to do my duty to awaken to the universal family. I say assalamu alaikum. Yeah. Now I'ma do it like this. Enough respects to the brother Jazzy J. Enough respect. Enough respect to my
Outstanding. Good afternoon, everyone. You can give this some love. It's okay. It's a celebration of life. So we'll just pay attention to those who are streaming in from all around the globe. There are certain groups that are sitting and celebrating Dr. Barbara Field's life with us. We all know that birth is not the beginning and death is not the end. We're celebrating a parenthesis and an incarnation in which someone revealed themselves so strongly and so beautifully, it touched millions of lives on this planet. I invite you to turn within with me for a moment as we have a moment of evocation for this ceremony, this service of the celebration of life for Barbara Fields. We allow ourselves to be so grateful and thankful for every moment that we had with her and every way that she touched us, uplifted us, and allowed us to be more of ourselves. We give great thanks to the great God of the universe who revealed himself as Dr. Barbara and allowed for each and every one of us to gather here all around the globe to celebrate a life worth living. We bless this service knowing that it unfolds perfectly and magnificently as we think about this life and there's so many lives that she touched. We just remain in gratitude and thanksgiving, and we allow it to be so now and forever, and so it is. Amen. Our Agape International Choir Ensemble will sing a song, and it represents, if you can think about Barbara taking her incarnation before she shuffled off the mortal coil, this would probably be the kind of song that she sung. It's called I Am Here, or I Was Here, something to that effect. Anyway.
Initials carved in an old oak tree. You wait and see. Maybe I'll write like Angelou wrote. Maybe I'll paint like Van Gogh. Cure the common cold. I don't know, but I'm ready to start. 'Cause I know in my heart, wanna do something that matters. Say something different, something that sets the whole world on its ear. I want to do something better with the time I've been given, and I want to try to touch a few hearts in this life, leave nothing less than something that says I was here. I will prove you wrong. If you think I'm all talk, you're in for a shock. 'Cause this dream's too strong, and before too long, maybe I'll compose symphonies. Maybe I'll fight for world peace. 'Cause I know it's my destiny to leave more than a trace of myself in this place. Wanna do something that matters, say something different, something that sets the whole world on its ear. I wanna do something better with the time I've been given, and I wanna try to do what you hearts in this life, leave nothing less than something that says I was here.
Appropriate. She did do something that mattered. She was here. We're going to call Hillary Carr up for a reading, and then she'll be followed by the Reverend Wendy Craig Purcell, the founder of the Unity Center in San Diego.
About a year ago, last May, I had just returned from a trip to Egypt, and I brought Barbara back one of the Sekhmet statuettes, because if you know Barbara, you know she is a devoted cat mom, and that statue looks like a cat. So, of course, I felt like this was the appropriate gift to bring to my dear friend. And she, a few nights later, wrote to me in an email saying, this is a poem that came to me last night while losing a staring contest with Kai. Sekhmet is reaching out to me through my cat. Later in September, she had changed the name of that poem. It started out Body in God, and she later changed it to Sacrifice. And that's the poem I'm going to share with you. In her eye, I see the sacrifice of God, putting forth such effort to inhabit that body and sustain that being, struggling to be contained in creature form, though no doubt more at rest as a tree in its sentient stillness. This is the gift the divine brings to every embodiment, in its own Herculean consent to be conformed, articulated, individuated, personalized, defying the unbroken primacy of infinity. Maya, so that being can experience, so that awareness dawns, so that cognizance will evolve, and return. The agony of containment, the antithesis of freedom, is the sacrifice of God through life to God. Once I see you, I always see you. And you always see you looking back. Love you, Barb.
It is my honor to read some of Barbara's story. Our beloved Barbara Fields passed Friday afternoon, February 21st, peacefully and surrounded by friends and family in her home in Ojai. The most appropriate epitaph for Barbara would be, "Thank you, angels." She had this engraved on the inside of her wedding band so that it would be pressed onto her skin at all times. She exemplified perfectly the attitude of gratitude that we all strive for. Her final fortune cookie read, "You find beauty in ordinary things. Do not lose this ability." Her favorite sources of beauty were other people. She loved people and they felt it and responded in kind. Her smile and eye contact were like a beam of bright light shining right on you. Barbara Ellen Fields was born in Chicago on February 8, 1952, and grew up in Chicago and Milwaukee. After high school and 1 year at Monmouth College in Illinois, Barbara took a couple of years to travel to Israel and Europe, eventually living in Copenhagen and returning to the U.S. in the mid-70s. She moved to Santa Barbara and graduated from UCSB in 1977 with a BA with highest honors majoring in psychology with a minor in religious studies. She returned to Chicago with her first husband, Tom Ravey, and worked various jobs before going into video production with the Underground News cable TV broadcast. In Chicago, she met Bill Bernstein in 1983. They were married from 1986 to 2003. In 1990, Barbara had her first diagnosis of breast cancer and struggled with it on and off for the rest of her life. with an unbelievably strong will to live, an unparalleled courageous spirit of celebrating life and relationships that we are able to have. With her typical earnest energy and professionalism, she became a resource person for many other women facing cancer diagnoses and treatment. It was in her capacity as a TV news producer that she volunteered for the 1992 Parliament of the World's Religions held in Chicago. By the time the event arrived, she had advanced to the program director, launching her lifelong career in interreligious dialogue and peace work. She returned to Santa Barbara in 2003 because her job by then allowed her to live anywhere. Met Stephen Pope in 2004, and the couple married twice in 2005. In their 20 years together, they traveled extensively, shared spiritual quests, loved music in many forms, and made their home in Samarkand neighborhood of Santa Barbara, and since 2023 in Ojai, a gathering place for friends and colleagues, hosting regular soirees, house concerts, and film screenings. Having had plenty of time to prepare for death, Barbara wrote her own career-oriented biography. Dr. Barbara Fields was executive director of the Association for Global New Thought. She was co-founder and project director of the Gandhi King Season for Peace and Nonviolence, the Synthesis Dialogues 1, 2, and 3 with His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and coordinated U.S. omni-local initiatives for the Harvard-based Abraham Walk Initiative in the Middle East. She served as program director for the Parliament of World's Religions Centennial Celebration in Chicago, 1993. Barbara was also conference coordinator for the Society for Buddhist Christian Studies, the International Buddhist Christian Theological Encounter hosted by Purdue University, and was delegate to the UNESCO Seminar on Religion and Peace. Her awards include Honorary Doctor of Humane Letters, Religious Science International's First Peace Award, the Gandhi King Aikeda Award for Martin Luther King Jr. International Chapel, the Peace Museum's Community Peacemaker Award in the area of diplomacy. She has been director-producer of the Awakened World Conference Series 1999 to 2016, including the Awakened World International Film Festival in Santa Barbara, California. She is a contributing author to 3 books, The Community of Religions, 200 Visionaries, and Women, Spirituality, and Transformative Leadership, Where Grace Meets Power, and numerous articles and publications, Cosmos, Interreligious Insight, Unity Contact, and Science of Mind. Barbara is surrounded by her brothers Stephen and Kenneth, her niece Nico U. Fields, and her husband Stephen Pope of Ojai.
Okay, snuggle up and put your arms around Barbara's neck, okay? Oh, yeah. Going down. Oh, yeah. Those are furry.
Thank you, Reverend Wendy.
He's too heavy.
We now have a video presentation.
Good boy, but he's still furring.
Hello, friend. I'm Barbara Fields, Executive Director of the Association for Global New Thought based in Santa Barbara, California, with members in spiritual centers all over the United States and many other countries. Our mission is to help promote an awakening world by supporting programs that teach the value of nonviolence and compassion for the benefit of our entire human family.
Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see. All your life you were only waiting for this moment to be free.
February 21st, 444, Barbara Fields made her transition into the next expression of life. It's hard to believe that we've been working together probably about 30 years. Co-founded the Season for Nonviolence, the Synthesis Dialogues with His Holiness the Dalai Lama,
Our mission is to experience and articulate a technology of awakening that synthesizes the realms of the sacred and the secular in both imagination and application. Our encounter with the loving kindness of His Holiness the Dalai Lama is one of many steps in this pilgrimage, through which we will bind ourselves as a community and co-create a fresh and authentic understanding of humanity's evolving narrative.
Barbara was a rare bird. She had the supreme intelligence, and she was gifted with a compassionate, loving heart. Barbara loved humanity and was always on the skinny branches of being an exclamation point of assisting humanity into its next level of expression.
We're trying to move out onto the edge and take some risks and try to learn from mistakes. If we happen to falter, at least we'll know what we did wrong and do it better next time. But we think that we really need to be of service. And the only way to be that is to take a leap of faith.
Hello, friends. I'm Jim Blake, the CEO at Unity World Headquarters. I first encountered Barbara when she and Reverend Wendy Craig Purcell inquired about my willingness to serve with the AG&T team. That was 9 years ago. And we had been meeting regularly since then, sharing our lives, ideas, and visions for what New Thought could become. When I reflect on all her professional accomplishments, I'm struck by how many things simply would not have happened without Barbara Fields there to organize and hold them together.
The deepest condolences on the transition of one of the greats in the New Thought movement, Dr. Barbara Fields.
The Fuji Declaration is a perfect expression of the goals we have been pursuing for almost 20 years. The Association for Global New Thought felt true resonance with its depth and sincerity. We experienced a deep calling to do what we could to spread the words of this sacred, unifying vision. I am proud of my work, and I think it does speak for itself. But the reason this is true is because I'm here in this room with people who have been working alongside with me. And here at Seaside, we feel as if we've had a poster child for the Season for Nonviolence for the past 15 years. And you have been working alongside over 900 cities and 67 countries doing this work.
Truly a visionary and a pioneer, one of the great leaders of our generation.
People who are, as we've talked about in the course of this show, they're interested in an so-called entertainment media industry that is evolving in its own consciousness so that it's not just empty entertainment. And I don't believe any sector of society is interested in empty entertainment anymore. I think those days are over.
Barbara, I'm grateful that your soul incarnated upon this earth at the time it did. I'm grateful that you could see the light in me, in the other leaders, in the world amidst its suffering and its challenges.
Nonviolence means to honor the inherent worth of every human being, naturally seeking to understand each other to build friendship and community.
Nonviolence means believing that our lives are linked together, as in the principle of Ubuntu, and that we can trust one another in working toward the common good.
And I know for sure that while she is missed, she will never be missing.
To lead a better life, I need my love to be here.
It has been a true honor to know her, to experience her, and to have her be what I really think of as a friend on this incredible journey in life.
When I was a hippie in the 1960s, I was one of those people who came alive with the notion that we had some social responsibilities, and at the same time I was studying Eastern religions. And all the choices that I made since then in terms of my career and my personal life have been centered around spirituality and activism. And so the organizations that I've worked with, the projects that I've worked on, these are a natural extension of constantly being inspired to move toward an incremental closeness to trying to be a contributor to society, and based on a sense of deep spiritual values, however your tradition expresses them. I mean, I have no biases in that way, but a spiritually motivated activism is the only kind of activism that's sustainable, and I just can't see any other truth for myself.
And everywhere, here, there, and everywhere.
We have some remembrances from Christian Sorensen and Kathy Hearn. They're at a graduation of the School of Ministry right now. And then Reverend Wendy will come forward again, followed by another co-founder of the Association for Global New Thought, Mary Marcy.
Hello, Stephen, Christian here, and Dr. Kathy Hearn. And we're here and not there, and we wishing we were to be able to honor your beloved Barbara. Oh my goodness, what a profound presence she has been in our lives. And but we'd be there if we could, but as I shared with you, we would climb mountains or cross oceans to have been there today. But here at Seaside, we're hosting the ministerial and practitioner graduation for Southern California. So can't be there.
Right, and we regret that. We love all of you so very much and love Barbara. And I appreciate this moment to reflect a bit on Barbara in my life and in Christian's life. And just to say that she was, to me, such an extraordinary example of compelling vision with these skills to bring just the right people together to do the work that helps make the world a better place. Every single activity that she created was so brilliant and so unique and so well thought out, whether it was our leadership council meetings or huge events or meetings in foreign countries. Because of Barbara, I was able to travel in the Middle East for the Abraham Path Project. I attended several of the parliaments of the world's religions, got to sit with His Holiness the Dalai Lama in Dharamsala, and so did Christian, and be in Italy and other places for remarkable meetings. So I will always be grateful for Barbara and her place in my life.
Gosh, touched my heart, made me feel so special, though I think she made all of us feel very special. She was an amazing visionary. She was able to cast a vision that was so large that people wanted to come play under that space, under that vision, and they brought the very best they had. She had the ability to bring the best out of people and then to coordinate it all together and express it in a grand kind of way. We're going to miss her for sure. And the way she would take us around the world, those places, South Africa as well, partying with the Dalai Lama. It was crazy being in Australia with her and just celebrating with all the amazing friends that Barbara has that I know are there today. We're going to miss you, Barbara.
Reverend Wendy. And then following Reverend Wendy will be Mary Morrissey.
How do you express gratitude for someone who has impacted your life personally in such a deep and profound way? How do you describe someone whose depth and breadth and reach is something most of us can only perhaps dream of? As I was thinking about what would I say about Barbara, knowing that her accomplishments have been shared and will be shared again, I'm sure, that we know something of her legacy. But I was thinking, how do I share the impact that I think she's had on me and perhaps on so many others. And I was trying to think of, well, what words do you use? And gosh, there were so many amazing adjectives that kept coming to my mind. Brilliant, yes, brilliant. Humble, yes, humble. Kind-hearted, yes, kind-hearted. Amazingly compassionate, yes, compassion. The ability to make you feel when you were speaking to her that you were the only thing that mattered to her in that moment in time. To really feel as if she was listening to you and loving you and encouraging you and inviting you to be the very best that you could be. And so while her professional accomplishments are truly remarkable, I think her personal impact on our lives is just as deeply remarkable and memorable. I will miss you, my dear friend, Barbara. I'm grateful to have had the chance to know you for many years, from about 1999 to just recently, to have been able to speak to you only a few days before your passing, and to be one that was impacted by your brilliance, your kindness, your love. I will miss you. I love you.
Thank you. Mary Morrissey, one of the co-founders of the Association for Global New Thought.
Having jumped up here before my turn, because I just so felt blessed that Michael said I could speak a few words. So we had a long-term friendship with a woman named Barbara Hubbard. Barbara Marx Hubbard was part of our association leadership in the INTA version of itself. And then she kept telling us about this person, and that Barbara was a visionary. So she had a vision for the possibility of what our work could mean together. And so a whole series of things occurred as the universe evolves in chaos. And we found ourselves sitting in a hotel room, a handful of us. Barbara Hubbard brought in a woman named Barbara Fields. And it didn't take us very long to realize that this woman had something none of us had in the same way. And that was her ability, the difference between a flood and electricity is structure. When you run that same amount of volume through the water, through the dam, you generate a different kind of power. And so in having active works that we were doing in our own ministries, Barbara had the ability to harness and structure that energy from a vision. And her vision was, things we'd not thought of, or at least I hadn't thought of, like what if we went to the UN and had a project that could impact the world? And what if, and just the what ifs that she had. And that was in 1996. And the harnessing of that, and the call, she was the one who said, if we're going to do this, you're going to need to give up 4 weeks of your normal work and come every quarter and contribute so much money to get it going. And just her whole understanding of, let's take this message that we all believe can touch the world and touch the world in a whole new way. So it's just a privilege to me to honor just her whole life and her personhood. I had the privilege of being part of her marriage ceremony to Stephen. And the last time, it isn't the last time we talked, but the last time I sat in her living room with her. One of the things, we just talked and shared, of course, she was dealing with a physical situation. But beyond that, just one of the things that she told me was how she had finally really experienced the love she had longed for in her marriage to Stephen. And just to see her beaming with that was so wonderful for me. So the last time we talked, she called, and I just happened to be able to pick up the phone, and we had a nice talk. And at the end, I said, "Oh, thank you for calling. It's so nice to be connected again." And she said, "Oh, Mary, we'll always be connected." And I didn't really catch those words until, with her passing, I knew that was the last time physically we would talk. But I think it's a message for all of us who love Barbara, that that love knows no ending and will always all be connected.
Thank you, Mary. We have a video from the Buddhist teacher, Tebo Tuku. Yes. That's not happening? Well, then you know we have? Oh, he's here. Oh, no video. Live and in person.
Good evening. My name is Tepu Tulku. I'm a Tibetan Lama, live in Santa Barbara. So I'm very privileged to come here to remember Barbara and also pray together. We're all together for Barbara's. And I don't need to explain much about Barbara. Barbara has a very special, compassionate lady who followed the vision of the Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King, and His Holiness Dalai Lama's vision. She worked tirelessly, not only for vision, she acted, and also she did a lot of conference together with the Dalai Lama about dialogue for the nonviolence, and also Buddhist Christian interfaith services, and also for my own experience, since I was moved in Santa Barbara 2012 and until now, she involved with so many Tibetan projects. Santa Barbara Summit for Tibet, she helped us to build the Santa Barbara Summit Tibet. We do a lot of the interfaith service, and we do a lot of the nonviolence activists, all volunteers. And so we are thankful for Barbara for her kindness and her compassion. And so traditionally, we do some few prayer. May the merit of this ceremony be dedicated to Dr. Barbara Field, who has departed from this life. May her find peace in the Pure Land or wherever her rebirth may take place. We remember her with love, we honor her life and the legacy, and we let go with compassion. May all beings be free from the suffering. May all beings be at peace. May all beings attain liberation. Thank you very much. And pray for Barbara for next. As we Tibetans, we believe in rebirth. So we always believe Barbara will be rebirth into the more active for the world peace. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Now there's a group called the Fab Fem, Feminine, Hillary, Inga, Zan, and Lee.
Yes, we're the Fab Fem. I think she named us. So 4 days before Barbara passed, Stephen and I were discussing SNL's 50th anniversary special that had happened that weekend. With her eyes closed, Barbara chimed in and declared with certainty, "Lorne Michaels, exquisite producer of our times. And then I was so taken with her words, I downloaded the biography Lorne on Audible that night. That's who Barbara was, our exquisite producer and orchestrator. Four of us together as a bouquet of her quality friends, and Roger, our honorary member, so we could know each other. She loved sharing, and I think beyond being here, she dreamed we would continue on in love of her, and generously that we would be friends for each other, which I feel has happened. I met Barbara at a Christmas party. In 2008, we immediately liked each other, but the party was so loud, we said, let's get out of here, and we went to one of our cars, and we talked for an hour. We had this deep, rich, amazing conversation and connection. I didn't see her again until the night Jack and I hosted a 20th birthday party of Barbara Marx Hubbard. 70th birthday party for Barbara Marx Hubbard. In walked on her arm. I mostly remembered her hair because it was dark in the car, and I thought, I am never letting this one get out of my sight again. And from that moment, forward, we became steady and dear friends. Included in that was our mutual love of all things animals, but especially cats. About 4 years ago, I inherited her brother's 2 cats, Krishna and Pookie, who together weigh almost 50 pounds. But don't get me started on that. Okay, so Barbara fostered these cats when they were 4 weeks old in her bathtub, and then Steve took them over. But I feel like I have her children with me now. It's so sweet. I think the biggest gift that Barbara gave me was being able to be there with her the last 4 days of her life, to witness and hold space for her most gorgeous transition. It was one of the biggest honors of my life to behold such grace, wisdom, and trust. The fears I've held around dying have dropped away. Plus, she makes the most magnificent angel. I asked her to show me a sign in the form of roses because that was like our favorite flower. And the first thing we did is these are from my garden, and this morning there was nothing out there. I'm like, bring them on, Barbara. And we would just smell them together. So I asked her for a sign in the form of roses, like, I don't know how that's going to happen. So 3 days after she passed, a white rose bloomed in our rose garden about a month before blooming season was to begin, and it was on the Barbara Streisand bush. And exquisite universal producing. I don't know what is. Thank you.
I worked for a long time, since 1999, with Barbara, producing many of the events with her. And yes, she did curate. She was the queen of curating. And I will say she did curate her life right to the very moment where she flew away. And we were with Steve and Rebecca, Inga, myself, and Steve last few days, and a couple of the very interesting things she said, aside from Lauren Michaels is the most exquisite producer, was that we should stop thinking. She said, stop thinking, and Steve said, wait a minute, isn't that what we're supposed to do in meditation anyway? And she said, yes, stop thinking, no more ideas. She said, I don't want any more ideas. I'm going to leave here and get some new ideas and start fresh. She's already getting ready to come back with new ideas. The very, very last thing she said to me, maybe right before she didn't speak again, was, February is the date when the model is fully downloaded. And I, of course, asked her, February is the date? And she said, yes. And I said, the model, tell me about the model. Because I really wanted to drag this, what is this information she's getting? And she just kind of went, like, the model is? I know you know this. But she did download that model, and we all kind of watched as she wrapped up perfectly each little piece. It was, and then left at 4:44 p.m. Quite exquisite.
So I got the blessing of knowing Barbara through my work here at Agape. And when I first met Barbara, I just felt like so seen. She met me right where I needed to be met. Like, we have sort of this ongoing campaign that never ends. And she understood everything that I was going through, like in the material, but she also saw me. And Barbara, if you know Barbara, Barbara is just so wise beyond words, so brilliant, reverent for life, for the sacred, for humanity, and so irreverent, and such a incredible wit, and a capacity to be beyond the rules in order to live a higher vision. And so I'm just so grateful that I got to experience her closely in my own heart and my life, and she's such a gift and a blessing. I feel inspired that we can take on. We know right where we are right now, we need it more than ever. So this work does not die with Barbara Fields, it lives on with Barbara Fields. And so we are called here to be a beneficial presence and to live that on. So I'm grateful.
I am so grateful that Barbara saw the light in me. This loss for all of us. As we four stand here before you as the Fab Fem, we've lost our queen, our wisdom keeper. She so softly yet powerfully blazed into my life and proclaimed that we would be the best of friends. She was right. Her lightness of being, her laugh, her focused and courageous heart made one fall in love with her instantly. She was, well, the angel she's now become here on earth. I'd like for all of us, if we could, to take a collective moment and breathe in all the light and love that is in this room and beyond, all the people that are watching. And in our exhale, to praise Om Shanti, 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 Om. So, big inhale. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om.
And we have to have a shout out to our friend Roger, who said it for El Capitan Campground. So that was where the Fab Fem did our most fabulous work.
The only male member of the
Yes,
Fab
he was
Fem.
the honorary Fab.
Yeah.
The Fab Fem, okay. Roger, do you want to come forward and say a word? Where are you sitting? God bless you, Roger, I understand. Kenneth Fields, video.
There's no abstraction in the word sister. A beautiful personality and loving presence fills that word. We're sorry that we couldn't be with you all today. My daughter Nico graduated from high school this weekend. And since Barb is still a part of our experience, we know she felt our joy in this, and we felt hers. A big step forward in Nico's life, whose every step Barb has participated in so wholeheartedly. Barb resonated with Nico. For me, with the physical loss of Barb, there's the realization that there's always been an internal Barb. And now that that internal psychological part is on its own, I can see how she so craftily cultivated this eternal gift for me. Me and Barb held an ongoing conversation over the years. It had to do with the limits of the rational mind. That dialogue, various subjects branched like a forest upwards towards the sky. After many years, we didn't need to traverse the old pathways redundantly. We went right to the periphery with few words or a glance or a laugh. Finally, it became encapsulated in our stream of good morning stickers in our Apple Messages app, simply indicating love. Barb gave me a heart pendant with pictures of our grandmother and her brother Ben inside. I can appreciate the significance of the millions of brother-sister relationships through history. All unique stories of deep human encounter. Older brothers, younger sisters, younger brothers, older sisters. Me and Steve have been lucky. Sister in these last years. Thank you for filling the word husband for her. And bless you, all her friends, for being Barb's constant companions in this life and in this celebration. Love and peace.
Husband Steve.
I'm the wrap-up act, so. Well, first, thank you all for being here, and thank you all watching. Obviously, we all know that there's a lot of Barbara that isn't over yet, and it's our job to do. Many of you who were at either of our weddings know this. You just heard from who I had worked with. And so when we met, it was just ironic that we spent 5 nights in a row having dinner together because Ken had come back to visit Santa Barbara from Beijing. And just before anybody says it, I realized that immediately that she was out of my league. And it was kind of, people keep using the word stunning. And I thought about that and said, yeah, when I met her, I was. But she told me a little bit later that there were 2 things that clinched it for her, that convinced her to open her heart and let me in. And one was she asked her brother Ken, when we met, we were both twice divorced and had given up on any kind of dating and were living alone happily. But she asked Ken how I was during my divorce. And Ken said, you know, it was really difficult and painful and expensive, but he never talked trash about his ex-wife. A good psychologist, she asked me once, what is my model from growing up, what relationship model was I raised with? And I did this, and I said, my parents were business partners and worked together and raised 5 kids in a small house. And for Barbara, the idea of just being patient and forgiving and having integrity and wanting to rub up and have this kind of a relationship, that's why she also, I gotta say, another big clincher was my family. For 20 years, she really loved my family. There's 17 of us here today because we all show up at everything. So she went to a lot of weddings and baptisms and graduations and just parties at our lake in Vermont. And she loved being in a big, loud, boisterous Anglo family. But one thing I was reminded of last night, gave a blessing before the meal, and for the first 18 years of my life, I always heard before the meal a blessing that started, "Dear Lord, thank you for our many blessings." So that's getting back to this attitude of gratitude people have mentioned here already. With no better segue than a stupid joke, I'm going to talk a little bit about stuff. But that's because I'm a Sagittarius and we're skeptical. But Barbara had her star chart, her natal chart done, and I showed it recently to a good friend of mine, who I hope is here, Tara Kamath, who's a pretty credible astrologer here in LA. And Barbara's comments were, it looks like somebody who is very intentional, somebody who came to this earth with an intention. People, about being in love, about, those are things that just, she came in with as her trajectory, so to speak. So I always think to keep someone alive or to remember someone, it's what of them do we want to keep alive? What do I want to keep in my heart and in my thoughts? And Barbara, as a psychologist, was so intentional about people. She would meet people and but she was, very intentional. She thought about people, she knew people, and she expressed and kind of worked on her intentions for people. I know for me, she, at the beginning, she just needed me to listen better. But then I think, most of the 20 years, she wanted me to be wiser and be a better deep listener and understand people better. And she really helped. So to keep her alive, I'm going to keep working on that. And my question for you is just, what did Barbara intend for you, everybody who knew her? She wasn't subtle about things. We've heard that she was smart and aggressive and directed and mischievous. And so I would just invite all of you that want to remember her and want to keep her alive, just try to become what she wanted you to be. Which is, interestingly, ends with the voice of God in first person. We're going to close with another poem of her that is the voice of death. We both loved poetry, we both wrote a lot, but I thought to end this was a book that we read together aloud to each other a couple years ago. A movie came out about the poet and reminded us how brilliant this poem is. So I thought I'd read you, it's a book-length poem, but by Allen Ginsberg. Howl. And it starts with the sentence, "I saw the best minds of my generation destroyed by madness, starving, hysterical, naked, dragging themselves through the Negro streets at dawn, looking for an angry fix." And over many pages of verse, it ends up with, "Holy, holy." The soul is holy, The skin is holy. The nose is holy. Holy, holy, holy. Everything is holy. Thank you.
Brother Stephen, thank you. Our international choir is taking the stage.
It's a beautiful song by Susan J. Paul, an artist who made her transition as well, and this song came through her during that time period. And her beautiful soul and all that she has brought to us in our lives now.
My soul sings out to you, my love.
My soul sings out to you, my love. My soul my soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you, yes. Oh Lord, my God, carry me on your wings. Carry me on your wings. You are in me. You know my heart. My soul sings out to you. Yeah. My soul sings out to you, yes. My soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings your constant blessings flow to me like a mighty river to my heart. You are my life. You set me forever and ever.
Lewis, our director.
Mrs. Taylor Henry.
Barbara Fields, Barbara Fields, Barbara Fields. Just take a deep inhalation and just feel her essence. We've already heard so many beautiful things about her, which are all true. And we are keenly aware that her life was so big it cannot be solved. The next dimension of life itself, but still, we will miss her. Just the other day, Lee was playing me a video, and I was doing something. I heard her voice. And as soon as I heard her voice, I just started crying because I became keenly aware that I couldn't just pick up the phone and call her. We had many beautiful conversations. As Stephen was reminding us, there was a lot of things that she would prompt me to and a lot of things that she would share. And I'm sure many of us in this room will feel the same way. There'll be an impulse that you'll think about her and you'll want to call her. You want to just say something to her for a moment or send a text and get a text back. But she is swallowed up by life, a great expression of life, becoming more and never less than herself. But we remain with a couple of things. We remain, obviously, with the sacred memories that we've had with her. A lot of the memories have been herding cats. If you could see as Wendy and Mary were probably alluding to, her trying to pull together all these ministers that knew everything to pull forth and to coordinate these powerful visions that would birth the Awakened World, the Synthesis Project, Season for Nonviolence, going to the United Nations, things of that particular nature. She had that power, she had that vision, she had that the Season for Nonviolence, individuals wanting to change internally to have the kind of world we want to live in. Memories will be there. But obviously, we're celebrating her life not just because of the memories, because memories do fade. We are obviously celebrating because this spark of divinity, this individualized expression of the nameless one, the living one that recreated itself, joy, the brilliance, everything that has been described, that aspect of Barbara lives forever and continues to express itself. We heard about her rebirth if she chooses to do that. That may not be necessary for her. She may pick another dimension of life to live in, because reincarnation is just one possibility in the field of infinite possibilities. But beauty and love and intelligence, it will continue to express, and she will continue to touch so many people. And as Stephen reminded us, we want to consider, we want to think about being a living memorial for Barbara. So as memories fade, we ask, as he asked us to do, we look at the qualities of Barbara. There's love, there's beauty, there's intelligence. She was the one that helped spearhead at the Parliament of World Religions, allowing for New Thought, Ageless Wisdom to be recognized as its own denomination, because before it was just some kind of frilly woo-woo thing on the edges. And she helped New Thought become recognized as its own denomination. And that which was woo-woo 40 years ago was now us to allow that to happen. There will be memories. However, we're celebrating a life that emerged from the quantum field, from the heart mind of the infinite. And in such a unique way, it touched all of us. And all of you who were tuning in from around the globe, it touched all of us. And so in order to continue to anchor that in time and space, energy of God that she was. And we say to ourselves, in order to keep Barbara alive in this dimension, what quality can I live for? It could possibly be compassion. It could possibly be love. It could possibly be honing one's mind for such pinpoint brilliance. It could possibly be holding a high vision, a vision that seems impossible. Impossible can bring them forward. It was impossible for her to corral all of these ministers and get them to the synthesis diet. That's all impossible stuff. Yet it happened. So we think about those qualities of her, and we embrace them. And we say, today, I'm going to activate that quality in the name of Barbara. I'm going to activate that her life is so big that death can't swallow it up. We will remember, yes, she's on the other side of the veil. She's still alive. Hands of love are acclimating her to another dimension. Yes, we will have sacred memories that would come into our consciousness from time to time. And yes, we'll be celebrating the divine as her. And we will grow because we will grab a quality. And we will on earth through our thought, our word, and our actions. So she continues to live, not merely in memory, but she continues to live as a motivating energy within us to be the next great version and vision of ourselves. That would honor Barbara Fields, the Dr. Barbara Fields. I invite you at this moment to stand up and give her a standing ovation. Think about just our soul sings out in great response and reverence to Barbara. And I will say this. The only thing that Stephen left out was that as they were getting close, Barbara had me and Roger and Roger Teal and Howard Caesar to check Stephen out. We loved Stephen, and he has grown into being a greater version of himself, and magnificent. His Quakerism and his sacred silence and his spiritual practice was a wonderful connection with Barbara. And we checked him out and said, yeah, he'll more than do. And obviously, he transcended all. Wonderful way. Thank you, Stephen. And you can let your hair grow again. She liked your hair long. So in that consciousness, we just set ourselves free to miss her when it's time to miss her, and to celebrate the memories when it's time to celebrate that, and to realize she's still alive. A yes? Is that a yes? I will read the poem in a minute, Steve. Right now, the choir is going to come up, I think. Is that true? And, we have Faith Rivera and Harold Payne coming up to give a powerful tribute, musical tribute to Barbara Fields. That's Harold Payne.
Harold Payne, yes. So I can humbly say, yes, she was stunning and brilliant, but she was like my fan. She would tell me behind closed doors. She came to my online release of my CD concert. Who does that? But so I feel her love, and I will do what you said, Stephen. Live of you have heard it. Many of you have probably sung it with us. But this is Stand Together, and we're going to do it for Barbara. We are. So let's stand together. Thank you, band. Thank you, Marianne. Thank you, choir. Thank you, Rev Michael. Thank you, Barbara.
Something great has happened and love has taken hold and it won't let go of us now.
Something here is calling us forward, upward motion. We're dropped in one ocean. Roll on. Will you rise up?
Waiting for. Live the dream of your highest calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gifts with a world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Every day's a chance you can do something amazing to feel your passion blazing and shine, yes.
Paint with every color, dance with new dimensions, flow to new heights in your mind.
I will rise up with you. Live the dream of your highest calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gifts with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's
One voice, one heart, one world, one dream, one voice, one heart, one world, one dream, one dream. Day dawning, we're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share this with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together. Live the dream of your highest calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can stand together. Now, everybody, let's stand together. Everybody, let's stand together. Everybody, let's stand together. Let's stand together. Let me hear you. Everybody, let's stand together. Come on. Everybody, let's stand together. Sing it for you, Barbara. Everybody, let's stand together. Let's stand together. Hey. Everybody, let's stand together. Everybody, let's stand for Barbara. Let's stand together now. Everybody, let's stand together.
Harold Payne, Faith Rivera, Barbara Fields, those lyrics. poem she wrote called Death Speaks. Talk to me as if you know me, as if we stood face to face, laid soul to soul in another lifetime, and in this one, wake to every day, never certain which is dreaming, which is real. Look at me as if I were with me, as if I kept your secrets, could heal your buried wounds, the love withheld, the words unspoken, all reconciled at the end of day, pure surrender, then surrender left behind. Think of me as if I am your homeland. But the safest place you know. It's called Death Speaks by Barbara Fields. And so we can just stand for the benediction, and then we'll have maybe we'll do our song first. Folding ceremony of light and love and life of her life. We stand in this awareness of embracing a life well lived. A life well lived. Never tarrying with mediocrity, but always holding hands with greatness, brilliance, and the next great thing she gave to us, setting the example of how she lived and how she made the transition. Oh, we give thanks for each other, this magnificent community that is right here in this room and is spread out all around the world, coming together in this moment to celebrate a life. Service we give, she definitely paid in full by the service and the love she gave. We give thanks for this and more than words can say or convey, and we allow it to be so. And so it is. Amen.
Ask a question that could only come from a child. Mommy, are there angels, and do they really fly? Will I know one when I see one? Live inside your hopes and prayers and dance around your dreams. They echo from the silence of quiet acts of kindness. Oh, angels don't all happen every day that never make the headlines, but make a difference anyway. Do you remember how your grandma dried your tears when you wear wings? They live inside your hopes and prayers and dance around your dreams. They echo from the silence of quiet acts of kindness. Oh, angel. They were in the presence of God's messenger of love. Oh, angels don't always wear. Of quiet acts of kindness. Oh, angels don't always wear wings. Angels don't always wear wings.
Love to Barbara, family. That's Harold Payne, our beautiful international choir. Thank you, everyone. Blessings to everyone. Producer that she is. Much love and blessings.
Meeting in the